Welcome to the Launchpad for Learning podcast, where busy parents like you discover brain-based tools, tips, and tricks to launch your child's learning journey to new heights. I'm your host, Emily Haw. I'm a mom, a veteran middle school teacher, a teacher trainer, and an executive function skills coach. Join me in making learning less stressful, easier, and more enjoyable for all learners. Welcome aboard, Mind Launcher. Buckle your seatbelts and prepare for liftoff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Here's a question I received recently. My son is so lazy, it's a battle to get him to pick up a pencil. What do I do? Sound familiar? I get questions like this a lot, so if you're nodding your head, know that you're not alone. But no one wants schoolwork to be a battle, so let's dive in to see what we can do to make peace. First of all, let's talk about this term lazy. It's a label that gets thrown around a lot by parents and teachers. Sometimes we might polish it up a bit and say unmotivated instead of lazy, or if you're a teacher, you might resort to that capable of better work or not meeting his or her full potential report card comment. But essentially, these are all perhaps slightly nicer ways of saying the same thing, lazy. And here's my issue with labeling a kid as lazy. First, are they really lazy? I can almost guarantee there are parts of that kid's life where they are anything but lazy. Maybe it's on the soccer field, maybe playing video games, but to give them this blanket description of lazy is misleading. Second, it's not a helpful label. It's describing a child's personality, which, as most of us know, is hard to change. But what we can change are skills and knowledge. So let's find a way to turn that label of laziness into something that describes what the child is actually struggling with. When we call a child lazy, it's too easy to brush off responsibility. The problem was with the kid, not with us. There's nothing we can do. But when we identify skill deficits that might be causing the behavior we described as lazy, well, then suddenly the responsibility is back on us as parents and teachers to support that child in developing those skills. Let's take a look at how this actually looks in practice in the case of the parent question I started with. So remember, the mom wrote, "My son is so lazy, it's a battle to get him to pick up a pencil. What do I do?" Here's step 1. Notice when you're using labels like lazy, unmotivated, forgetful. Step 2. Replace that label with a description of the skill or skills that your child needs to develop. This mom mentioned trouble picking up a pencil, which right away makes me think task initiation is something her son struggles with. Task initiation is a key executive function skill that helps us actually start a task. It's one that many children and adults struggle with, particularly when it comes to tasks that they might find challenging or unpleasant. Basically, it's the same thing as procrastination. Step 3. Now that I've identified a skill deficit, I can plan how I can support the child, in this case with task initiation. Of course, you always want to match the strategy to the unique needs of that child. But here are a few tricks I would suggest this mother try. Some children just need a little nudge to get started, and then the momentum can carry them forward. The mom could offer to sit next to her son and work on the first math problem or whatever it is he's working on together. Once he's started and has gained confidence in his ability to complete the task, she might find that she can slowly pull back her support and physical presence. Other children might resist starting a task because they find it completely overwhelming and just have no idea how to start. An easy solution to this one is to help them break it down into small chunks. List out those smaller steps on a to-do list to have the child check them off as they go so they can monitor their own progress. Still, other children need the pressure of time to get them working. You can ask your child to estimate how long an assignment will take, or that part of an assignment, and then set a timer and see if they can beat the clock. All right, Mind Launchers, let's recap today's tip. Number 1, notice when you're using labels to describe your child. Number 2, replace that label with a description of the skill or skills your child needs to develop still. And number 3, Make a plan for how you'll support your child in developing those skills. For more tips and tricks to support your child in school and out, be sure to follow me on Instagram or Facebook @MindLaunchers. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful week.